Uh, thanks for the introduction. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. So I think this particular session will be wonderful because today we are meeting with these big leaders over here, and we are getting a lot of insights from them. Because if you see today's digital era, wherein the wealth management is on one click, wherein the payment the way you used to use the cash earlier, now it's taking over that, and you're using a lot of digital QR code based payments, and the bank branches are getting less because now the digital banking it's getting into your pocket with the mobile banking and so on, and even the credit writing and so on, that is with the technology getting evolving, that is getting faster and getting accurate as well. So with that, a lot of innovation happening, the technology is revolving very fast. So and that's what the BFSI sector is also adopting those technology and taking it further. So before we jump into the session, I would, we already got introduced, so I would just like to start with I think with Pankaj. So how the, what are the, when we are into BFSI or financial sector, customer trust is very important because if customers don't trust on your product, then they may not be using that. And to keep that customer's trust, what are the aspects you are looking, and what are the key technology things you are adopting into your organization?
Yeah, I think all the digital engagements, right? Trust and transparency is the paramount, because I mean, it's similar to whether it is banking or a non-banking sector.
Right, right.
They need to trust, the customer need to trust, and the key parameter for it is, I mean, you are compliant, right? And you have the right amount of security so that they feel that safety net, right, from a consumer perspective when they're dealing with any of the transactions. So that's very key, and you utilizing all the cybersecurity parameters, authenticating and authorization layers, right? So that's very key. The other thing is, I think winning the trust is also about the transparency. So ensuring the right amount of information is given about whether it is product, whether it is pricing, so that they feel that, I mean, they can trust you, right? So I think that is what we are doing in terms of kind of winning the trust of the consumers.
Okay, Steve, you would like to add on what Pankaj said about insurance sector, how they are gaining trust and transparency into the products?
No, I think it's the same sentiment really as it is for banking. That I mean, to some extent, trust is all you have in insurance. You don't have anything else. So if you don't trust the people you're dealing with, then you've got a huge problem. Right. So that's a fundamentally important part of the relationship. And I think, again, there's the other aspect that Pankaj touched on is generation to generation as well. You know, for the boomers and that generation, they're looking for people to trust. But younger people are much more prepared to just go with technology and believe what they're seeing in the technology, as long as it's consistent and as long as it's reliable, and they feel that it's the right sort of thing for them to go through the procurement and the management process through the life cycle. So yeah, I think those are the key issues.
Okay, Willie or Lily, you want to add anything on this particular thing on the customer trust as well as on the transparency side?
Well, I think for banking, we've already transformed, right? From the brick and mortar branches, we have transformed into digital. And the key, as they mentioned, it's really the security, and at least the trust that their data are secured and the systems are reliable. That's the most important thing. So it's the trust in our digital realm. Basically, that's what I feel our customers should feel, that their data, the systems are reliable and secured.
Right. I think today, if we talk about the big three economy, I think cyber crimes is also world's largest third economy, which is going on, and cyber crimes has increased a lot these days, and definitely financial sectors as well as all BFSI sectors needs to be secure their environments, and whatever new technology that is coming in, they need to adopt them, as well as how they can secure their customers as well as their infrastructure. I think that is key parameter. So moving on to the security side, what are the biggest cybersecurity challenges you are facing for BFSI sector? I think we can start with Willie.
Sure. Maybe just to introduce as well. So Alta is actually the largest platform for alternative assets. So we run a licensed marketplace that covers the entire Southeast Asia and East Asian regions. So people can come to our platform and invest in and trade in different security products. So I guess that kind of setting the context. The biggest cybersecurity challenge I think for us are still around customer protection and protecting customer data. So I think we'll get in huge trouble if any of our customer data is leaked, right? Whether it's their personal data, their financial data. And what we're really trying to do, I think, as we kind of look ahead to the future, is actually why put ourselves at risk, right? And let's actually try to store and keep as little of that as possible. And so I'll just give a very small and one example that's very helpful for us is for Singapore clients who onboard onto our platform. And I think many of probably my colleagues here are using the same technology. We actually use the Singapore MyInfo portal. And so what does that mean is that all of that information about the end clients that we use when they come on board, it's fully integrated with our system. They just need to enter their name, their NRIC number, and then all of the data is actually stored with the Singapore government, not with us. And we're able to actually use that to immediately validate, is this customer okay? Can we consider them an accredited investor, which is critical for our platform? And so that, I think, is kind of the next layer beyond, oh, let's make sure we have all the right security in place and protection and all the data stored in a place that we're really comfortable with. Let's try to step away from that model and let's see as much as we can relying on putting that data somewhere else. And our job is just to really be able to trust that data source and make sure that it's something we're comfortable with and allows us to onboard our clients.
Yeah, I think having when we are dealing with the customer, I think we also need to verify whether the customer which are coming to us, those are valid customer. And to reduce the fraud, I think some of these initiatives taken by let's say regulator or the government side are really mesmerizing. So, and definitely these will help us to reduce a lot of fraud which are coming in these days, which got increased because of the digital world. So, Pankaj, do you also want to add something on the security side? How BFSI sector is dealing with some of the security challenges with the increased threat vectors?
Yeah, obviously, I mean, taking on from what Willie said, right? I mean, adding to what Willie said, I think we are seeing quite a lot of challenges with respect to, I mean, identity thefts, whether it is data protection. I mean, we have seen some of the big attacks currently happen, right, in last 3-4 months. I mean, there was attack on Data Post, where all the documents were kind of, the document theft happened, right? So yeah, I think there are a number of measures we are taking, ensuring the right barriers are put in at all the layers that we have, so that we can kind of stop these identity threats. Also working with all our vendor partners to ensure, because quite a lot of times it's not just about the bank or the tech, insurtech who protects the data. They're dealing with a lot of vendor partners, and we need to work with the vendor partners so that they are setting the same standard as the banks are setting up, right? So that's probably one of the challenge as well, I think we need to deal with.
Right. Even as a fintech, definitely some of these challenges are similar to us as well. So I'll just add a little bit over here on the third-party risk management. So whenever we bring any third-party vendors, definitely we need to perform the third-party risk assessment to make sure that their security is matching to our security requirements. And if you look at, let's say, Singapore or APAC region, I think Singapore has almost 60 regulations across different domains, which again showcase that very strong governance in APAC or C region. And that is where you have a lot of regulatory requirements that are sort of coming from very much good frameworks, security frameworks, what we have or what we use on a globally. So we need to also adhere to those regulatory requirements so that the customer trust can be built and the security requirements, those are also come from those regulatory requirements so that companies ideally like the financial sector mainly, those can be regulated, and because of which I think we also need to implemented, or we have already implemented a lot of those security controls. But I think the technology is revolving faster. We are seeing like AI is already here. So I also wanted to check on those sort of angles, like what are the different areas wherein you are trying to implement AI, and what are some of the challenges or security things you are looking into that AI or big data? So I think Steve, you would like to add on that?
Sure, no problem. I think the other thing we need to touch on as well is, I mean, you both raised the point about third-party vendors,
right,
the layering and the issues with that. And I think no matter how sophisticated the systems get, it's really important to make sure that the basics are right as well.
Correct.
The recent one I'm sure many of you read about that I thought was particularly interesting was the McDonald's HR system, which is a very sophisticated AI system where they do most of their global recruitment through this. But I read there was on Byte, there was a report about the fact that they still left the main login password as password. So a couple of investigative reporters were all over it, and nobody will ever know whether anybody else was in there, but they said they got access to about 2 million applicants' personal data just because the password was password. Right. So you can have the most sophisticated AI system in the world, but if you don't get the hygiene basics right, then you're really asking for trouble. And I think that's one of the key things we all have to remember, no matter how sophisticated our systems get.
Right. So, Willie, you want to add also on this particular aspects, like?
Yeah, one of the areas that we're looking at AI is really to automate and streamline and make as positive as possible the overall customer service experience. And so we've already taken many big steps down this path. I think traditionally we would just handle customer service queries by phone, by email, and it was very manual and involved a lot of human intervention. The first steps that we've taken is really to kind of build an intelligent chatbot. So now we're actually able to answer a lot of these first-line questions. The chatbot is obviously available 24/7, right? So it's something that's already cut our time and resource costs by about half. But what we're really looking forward to, right, and as we think about really AI is, can we make it a very seamless, right, AI experience? And it's you can actually choose. If you're the end user, do you want it to be by chatbot? Do you want somebody live who's actually talking to you? And we can be very transparent with the end clients. Like the person, quote unquote, who's talking to you is actually an AI voice, right? But it's somebody who actually has a lot of information about your past activity on the platform, your investment preferences, right? And they can actually tailor and use some of that information to hopefully make that conversation with you as smart as possible. The one thing that I think we're all concerned about and we hear about, right, is AI kind of gone wrong, right? And so I see kind of two different potential levels of this. And keeping with this customer service example, right? What if the AI bot gives you the wrong answer, right? Or they give you an incomplete information, and then as a result of that, you act based on that, and then you make, let's say on our platform, an investment, and you lose a lot of money, or whatever it is, right? How do we protect ourselves from that, right? And how do we make sure that the AI doesn't start leading to the wrong answers, right? And I don't really have the right solution to that. I mean, it's something that we really need to monitor and very carefully watch, right? But that's something that's kind of always in our mind as we're looking at deploying and utilizing these AI services.
That's great. Like definitely, when you're using this AI technology, which is evolving very faster, and a lot of companies, they started using or trying to replace the 24/7 work, which is mainly like there may be some errors which can happen with human, but definitely with AI also that is possible, and that is where like human oversight is very important. Lily, you would like to add on this particular aspect as well?
Yeah, I was actually discussing this with Steve a while back. The acceptance of the regulatory board or regulatory in our respective countries, whether the emergence of AI is acceptable. Okay, right now, AI using machine language, we can actually detect, or we would know whether AI is responding correctly because there's a code. But like LLM, okay, we wouldn't know whether AI is actually responding the way it should be. But there were some POCs that were conducted wherein we ask AI how it actually gets the answer. It sounds pretty much okay, no? It's like, it's correct. But the question really is it acceptable to the regulators? So maybe that's one of the things or the challenges that we really need to look into.
Right. I think the large language model, which usually follow the NLP model, I think most of the time you may also have observed, and the biggest problem we see with all these large language models are like hallucination, right? Which sometimes we feel, okay, this is just giving some information to us, right? And adding to that, like I can add one more point on that, but before that, I just wanted to go to Pankaj and wanted to check if he would like to add some of the insights on AI, how they are using AI, and what are the security challenges you see while utilizing the AI.
Okay, so I'll be honest, right? I mean, we are still scratching the surface from an AI perspective. But what we have been doing over the last couple of years, because we have been part of a big merger and acquisition program where we were involved into transforming and integrating a lot of systems. The one thing that we were doing was establishing the foundations, right data foundation to be established so that we can then scale up the AI use cases on top. Because otherwise it's just a garbage in and garbage out if you use AI on a bad data. So that's something very key for effective AI models to work, to have a real good data foundation. On top of that, I think from an insurance perspective, the whole value chain can be disrupted from an AI perspective. There are few things that we are currently looking at is about distributor productivity. How can our agency or FA can kind of be more productive selling these products. We are also looking at the claims automation using certain AI models, especially in the health space. And there are a few others, right? So as I said, it's a full value chain that can be disrupted. we need to have a real good AI operating model, I would say, because it's not just about the technology, it's about the process optimization and transformation of the process as well. So that's, I think, need to be looked at holistically. I would say that we are still scratching the surface, but we are going step by step to kind of ensure the foundation is there so that we can scale up fast.
Okay, that's great. I would like to add some few things on LLMs, which when we come across, like as a fintech, we need to deliver products very fast, and that is what expected from the industry. So that's why definitely we are trying multiple AI stuff, wherein like usage of LLM is not for our production data, but to increase some of the work which is, let's say, for communication, or let's say for researching the data, or let's say we also need to run some campaigns on the social media. So some of the content which large language models can be utilized, right? But because we are, let's say, the regulated entities, we are not utilizing AI where data security as well as sensitive data comes in. So definitely a lot of awareness things that we need to run into our organization, and as part of that, I do conduct multiple trainings. But for large language models, like recently, if you saw one incident, and if you see on the Cloud blog, they have specifically given the large language model as an insider, because recently what they have done is red teaming exercise, wherein they have taken 10 to 15 key large language models, including OpenAI, Cloud and Gemini and all. So what they identified that during that red teaming exercise, they identified that if you have given access to your mailboxes as well as your sensitive information, large language model can threaten you as well. And that they had proof as well, that they have showcased one email wherein they was trying to say large language model that they will close this particular model or they will shut down this particular model. And then large language model came up with the answer, and he has given evidence of having his affair to somebody else, external affair, that he will showcase it to worldwide, like that. So definitely when we are giving access to large language models, we need to be very careful, and definitely we have to have all the guardrails as well as security settings on that. Another part where AI is getting more utilized on cybercrime side, wherein attackers are using AI, and they are also automating all these social media, social engineering related attacks. So earlier they used to work in different phases. So now they are able to attack with they are using different AI tools, like for doing reconnaissance, that means identifying your information. They are using one tool called whiteboard or something like that. And with that, they are also using these large language models to personalize the emails. Then they are able to create a similar page like the banking or the insurance with lovable or the Viber coding. And then with that, they are also using the voice cloning as well as some sort of deep fakes to automate that social engineering attacks. So to stop those, definitely we also need to aware all of our employees as well as customers as well. And this is where the concerns are growing, where while AI bringing innovation, but the risks are also coming along. So I think on that particular topic, like we are doing a lot of automation also these days. So I wanted to check like how some of the AI and automations are bringing innovative things in the organizations. So Willie, you would like to add, or Pankaj?
Okay, sure. Yeah, maybe I'll stay on the topic of onboarding. So I talked about people using MyInfo in Singapore. Having said that, people who want to come to our platform who are not in Singapore, it's still a really big hassle, and we have to go and get all of their documentation, and we have to have certified true copies, and make sure that our compliance team is convinced that these are the real documents, right? So there's a huge opportunity to really simplify some of those steps for non-Singapore customers. So really what we're doing is we're kind of designing with the ultimate end goal in mind. And to me, that ultimate end goal is what we're starting to see at airports, right? So when I go and leave Singapore to, wherever it might be, I just show my face and I'm through. I don't even have to show my passport or stamp or anything. And I think we're getting quite close to almost that process for onboarding and KYCing our customers, even the ones that are not in Singapore. So we actually just signed a contract with an eKYC vendor. Although this is not super new, right, it's still very impressive that you're able to do the liveness test. So whoever the end client is can just with their mobile device or on their tablet or whatever, right, just click a button and they kind of move around a little bit, and then the system is able to detect, okay, is this a real person? Does it actually match all the credentials and the ID that they've submitted to the platform? And we've really cut down, I think by about 70 or 80%, the total time it takes to onboard a new client. So hopefully we'll get to that airport dream, and I'm hoping that that can be something in the next year or so.
Okay, I think I'll add, again, what I said earlier, right? The automation can be done across the whole value chain. There are a few things that we are looking at. I'll take an example. Just we executed one project where the whole policy onboarding journey, putting the policy, insurance policy in force, right? Since the inception, it used to take us about 3 days. Previously, we have now kind of ensured with the right tooling, right rules engine that are working at the back end, and some of the RPA automation done, we are able to do that in 5 minutes. So we just executed that project, right? And think of it, right? From 3 days to 5 minutes, there is so much of cost saving here because there is a lot of operational staff doing this manual processing that we can cut down. And similar the examples are there across claims, across underwriting within insurance as well. So yeah, there is quite a lot automation we could do with AI and without AI as well.
Steve, you would like to add on this?
Yeah, sure. I think there's a few elements to this. I mean, you're definitely right about the savings. I mean, if I spin it around from different parts of the insurance industry, I mean, it's most of your cost base in your employees is in either the whole underwriting side or the whole claims side. And both of these are quite natural targets to be replaced by AI to a large extent as we go forward. And that raises some other questions. It raises almost ethical questions about what's your organization going to look like in the future, in particular if you're a Singapore-based organization, what's it going to mean for Singaporean employees, because there might be a lot less in your business in the future. So there's issues around that. I think then also, Lillian touched on the regulatory side of things. The regulatory side is important as well, because regulators are looking at this and wondering, well, how far is too far? Again, bringing insurance into this, if you're starting to deny policies on the basis of the information that's gathered from your AI, what are the liability issues around that? And what is the regulator going to say if you start denying people's insurance policies and or claims on the basis of something that might be triggered from an LLM? And then we all know at this stage LLMs still have hallucinations. So it's quite a complicated space, and I think we all need to go quickly and be nimble, but we just need to be cautious of these challenges of that automation as well.
Right. So Willie, do you like to add anything, or Willie, Lily, you would like to add something on this automation part? Okay. So definitely, as a fintech, we are also using automation, and we have also seen some of the challenges on cost aspect, as well as we need to deliver faster. So whatever we are doing, we need to do fast. So definitely automation is helping a lot, and with AI we are using it somewhere also like as a assistant, and we are also exploring on the AI agent side as well. So definitely for that as well, we are seeing a few of the challenges that definitely when you are doing so, you need to consider the regulators. I think governance plays very crucial role on that when you're bringing AI combining with automation, and this is where like a lot of push that is coming from government or let's say the regulator side as well, how you are governing AI and automation, mainly AI into your organization. So anyone would like to add anything on the governance or AI governance side? I think this is a bit odd question, but yeah, definitely. If not, I can just move on to the.
No, I mean, definitely, right? So I think, as Steve alluded to as well earlier, the governance is definitely key, and what use cases you can apply to it, how you use the models ethically, right? So it's definitely key. I mean, at HSBC, at a bank level, we already have a certain governance framework that has been created in tandem with the regulations in all our key markets, right? So we are working with MAS, what they are coming out with here versus HKMA, what they are coming out with in Hong Kong. So yeah, so there is a governance model that has been built, and we are abiding by that, and that is also one of the reasons that we are making a slow but steady progress rather than just jumping onto the bandwagon.
Right, right. I think definitely AI is one of the technology which we are already looking after, but I think there are certain technologies like blockchain and all we are using, right? So any insights from blockchain side you would like to add, Steve?
Sure, yeah. I mean, just to sort of finish up on the governance side, I think that's an absolutely critical point going forward. I think a lot of boards, I mean, I sit on quite a few boards and I'm head of risk committees. A lot of boards are just not ready to have that conversation, quite frankly. They don't have the experience or the expertise in the nicest possible way. You start to talk to them about AI guardrails and things like that, and they don't really know quite how to continue the conversation. So it's a big issue that hasn't been really resolved, I think, by a lot of boards so far, and that's definitely part of the future. Yeah, moving on to sort of blockchain and other technologies. I was the head of risk and compliance for a crypto payments company for a few years, so I saw a lot of this in action, and there's a lot of automation that I think blockchain could bring in the future. Again, it goes back to trust we were talking about in the first place. If you've got a trustless system, a blockchain system, then everything can go on much more smoothly, much more quickly, as long as all parties are comfortable with that process. So the technology's there. That's already in place. It's already ready. It's just whether, I think, again, regulators are comfortable that we go down this path slowly or quickly. And I think different jurisdictions are going at different speeds. I mean, Singapore was going quite quickly a few years ago, but it's been a little bit more cautious recently. I think perhaps some of the Middle Eastern jurisdictions are full speed ahead, and things are happening much faster there now than they are in Asia at the moment. But let's see how this develops. I think the technology's there. It's ready. It's ready to be deployed. In the company I was working for, we were deploying it 4 years ago. So it's all there. It's just whether the whole ecosystem is ready to embrace it and move forward.
Willie, you would like to add anything on this?
Yeah, sure. So blockchain is actually really at the core of many things that we do at Alta, and many of the offerings that we have on our platform are actually tokenized securities, tokenized real-world assets. So definitely an area that we're very, very strong and focused on. Having said that, I think the focus and the attention when we're going out and meeting clients and potential partners tends to be less on the blockchain side, but really it's on the end outcome of what is it exactly is the blockchain supporting us to do that ultimately is going to benefit the end customer or the partners that we're dealing with. And for us, really the value add is building a very large and powerful marketplace that can connect in people from across the world and all sorts of different interesting investment products, right? That's really going to draw them to our marketplace, make it cheap and fast for them to come and trade. And if it happens to be that we're using blockchain in the back, which we are, great, and nothing to hide, and we're happy to talk about it. And I think people by now should be pretty familiar with all the different benefits, right, of doing that. But yeah, it's become a very, very small talking point, I found, in all the discussions that we've had. So my perspective, I think, on the blockchain has really changed. And I guess, as with a lot of the new technologies, right, the initial introduction, there's a big novelty effect and people are really interested in learning about the technology, but at the end of the day, it's just an enabler in the background to really support all the different businesses that we're each managing.
Lily, you would like to add?
Yeah. Digital transformation for me is like adopting the different technologies, emerging technologies, but really, what is digital transformation? We have to have that, your organization should have the objective of why you want to go digital transformation. There's a lot of emerging technologies, blockchain, AI, big data and all, but at the end of the day, it's really the organization's trust objective that we should align to, okay? We cannot just adopt anything right there, but we really have to go back what is the organization really would want to go to in the next couple of years. Okay, so having said that, I would like to factor in as well whether we've discussed a lot of technologies, but really it is assessing our organization's structure, people, the processes, because we cannot just implement something without considering all these things. Okay, so digital transformation is an end-to-end thing. It's not only the technology, it's the process, the people, and everything in your organization. So that's for me, that's the whole end-to-end essence of digital transformation in any organization.
Right. I think one of the aspects, if we look at the digital transformation today, is like, I think many of the people who are, let's say, educated or uneducated, they are today getting access to mobile or the digital devices, right? And I think, but they may not be that much educated to use those digital technologies. So how we are empowering them or bringing them, or how we are bringing, or what are the efforts we are taking to make sure we are also reaching to underserved population who are not educated, and what are the efforts BFSI sector is taking on that. So I just wanted to take your insights on that. So can we start with Pankaj?
Yeah, I think I'll talk from an insurance perspective, but applicable to the bank as well, right? It's about having a multi-channel strategy, right? I think you need to understand the demography of the customers. Like you said, some of them might not be digital savvy, some of them wanting to interact with a person, some of them are digital savvy, they can interact to the digital media. So I think having that multi-channel proposition for your products. The other aspect is having the right user experience, right? So that you can convey the product features, you can convey the the whole proposition to the customer the way he or she understands, right? So I think quite a lot of effort on both aspects, having the multi-channel as well as having the right UX for each of the channel, that is very key, right? So that's what I think.
Right. Anyone would like to add, Steve or William?
Yeah, I can add to that. So at Alta, we actually also run an equity crowdfunding business in Malaysia. And that business is very much focused on local small businesses, really supporting them. And the investors who connect to that platform are actually small retail investors. They might only be investing a few thousand ringgit per person. And to really kind of build that sense of inclusivity and build awareness, I think, for a lot of the different products, actually it's not really a technology solution at all. There's really a lot of face-to-face meetings that we have. We have a lot of, attend a lot of conferences, even events like this, right, where there's a lot of outreach to local moms and pops and families to really build that awareness. And as and when they're ready and comfortable with the product, yes, it's important that we have both our mobile app and our website to make the onboarding and the investment process as smooth as possible. But what we found is that if you focus too much on that kind of UX, right, you might actually lose the value proposition and the whole attractiveness of your platform, because ultimately, connect all these individual investors with the actual companies that we're trying to support. So we're seeing that in Malaysia, this is a really, really strong test case for us. And a lot of the different tools and levers that we've been using to kind of see how people react are things that we're really taking note and things that we are thinking about also using and expanding to other markets as well.
Lily, you would like to add?
Okay. In the Philippines, majority or a lot of the population, there's a lot of people that are still unbanked and underserved. So I agree with Willie that technology is not the only thing that you can tap this and provide services to these people. So in our bank, LANDBANK, we have several programs that actually tapped the underserved and unbanked. So one of which is the Kasama. It's basically a combination of technology and we call it phygital.
Okay.
Physical and digital banking. So Kasama is like an agent banking. We made use of technology and we tie up with stores, convenience stores, pharmacies, or even remittance centers. And these, and we deploy, and these partners are actually in the far-flung areas in the Philippines. As you know, Philippines composed of 7,000 plus islands. And we deploy them. That way, we can tap these unbanked and underserved people. More than that, we also provide like, well, in the Philippines, the mobile banking is like the thing. I mean, 90% of the population have mobile banking, have mobile phones. Now, using their mobile phone, they can actually do banking already. So, well, if you know GCash, Maya, they are the key players in the Philippines. So, again, people unbanked, underserved can be serviced using that model. Okay. We also have, in LANDBANK, we also have this, other than the Kasama, we also have the branch light. Okay, so this is different from the usual branches, bank branches, wherein you spend, well, you build it. It's just a small branch wherein it is deployed in different municipalities that can service the, well, LANDBANK is main purpose really is to serve the underserved. So we put that in so that this underserved and unbanked can go easily to these branches.
Thanks. I would also like to add something on that. So as a fintech, like we are dealing, I mean, we are in Singapore as well as we are also operates in Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam as well as Malaysia. And some of the countries like Indonesia and Thailand, they have, the local governments and local people, they support local language. And this is where like when we are developing anything in, let's say, Indonesia or in Thailand, our apps are like language savvy, wherein if they want to use those apps in their local languages, they are I mean, it's very easy for them to access those digital apps in their language, and this is where, like, I think technology is also helping to bring those underserved people to come into the or they can utilize all these digital banking and digital products what we are offering, right? And we are also tied up with some of the government initiatives like Sharia and all other products, wherein definitely those people they are taking advantage of that as well. And I think definitely it will come with the multiple partnerships and all. So on that particular front, I would like to check, like, as a BFSI sector, we are also doing a lot of partnerships with, let's say, if we are in banking, we are doing partnerships with insurance, because those are interconnected, or you can say like related, or onboarding customers and bringing them into one umbrella, right? Because those are necessities, and those we are trying to solve for the customer, coming up or doing the partnerships with different organizations. So on the partnerships side, like how the BFSI sector, let's say fintechs, banking, insurance and all, how they are collaborating with each other and doing, I mean, helping the customer side, yeah. So anyone would like to more?
I'll start, right? I mean, you talked about the partnership between bank, insurance. Actually, I'll give an example. We are doing a partnership with the hospitals and as well. So we just recently had a partnership with Raffles Medical because we want to look at health and wealth together.
Correct.
From an HSBC perspective. So we investing heavily both in Hong Kong and Singapore with respect to health and wealth, right? So yeah, I think that's real good example of bringing the value proposition to the customers. But apart from that, obviously we have, so your point is right? It's not a world where you can play solo. You need to have the partnerships across the board so that you can give the right solutions to the customers. So even, for example, we don't really manufacture the PNC, the general insurance products in Singapore, but we have a partnership with MSIG where we can sell their product as a distributors. Similarly, we have partnerships in other markets as well. So yeah, I think it's not a game that you can win solo. Steve?
Yeah, Steve.
Well, I think you raised some really good points, and the thing about a lot of insurance is actually generally a greater good. It's good to have some insurance, and you know, if you have a claim, then and it gets paid, you're very happy, your family's protected, your business is protected, whatever it is. But a lot of the time, particularly when you're talking about the those who are sort of not necessarily so educated, or they're just getting into financial services and that sort of thing, they don't find insurance initially very appealing. I mean, you spend money and you don't get a new car smell. You don't get that instant gratification of, yes, I've got an insurance policy. It doesn't work like that. So often working through partners, working through solutions where there's embedded insurance, those sorts of things, you can help people realize the benefits of insurance, but without getting stopped by that roadblock of, well, hang on a minute, I don't know whether I'll ever have a claim, so I don't know whether this is really valuable or not. And I think technology is an amazing facilitator to be able to make those conversations easier, smoother, and you're sometimes wrapping insurance in with other products. The more opportunities to do that, I think the better for society as a whole, quite frankly.
Right. Willie or Lily, you would like to add anything on this?
On the topic of partnerships, we're finding, and Alta actually participates in several different kind of multi-company organizations, and it's actually extremely helpful in terms of sharing information, hearing about voice of the customer, and in a lot of times, cases, we're actually able to share some of the different key initiatives or technologies that we're working on. And so I think two of the organizations that we're very much involved in that have been extremely helpful, one is actually Singapore Fintech Association. So I'm actually on the subcommittee of the capital markets group within the organization. And I think no coincidence, SFA is actually sponsoring today's event as well. So not only is it a voice for the customer, but we're actually able to gather a lot of industry feedback. We do have a direct line into the MAS as well. So it's actually very powerful if, as a group, we're able to go to MAS and talk about some of the things that we're seeing in the market, provide our feedback, right, on different laws or regulations that are either coming down the pipeline or that are already in place. The other organization that Alta is involved in that's also been extremely helpful and valuable, we're actually a participating member of Project Guardian, which is actually also sponsored by the MAS. So Project Guardian, you actually have to be selected to participate, and you need to be working on a blockchain-related initiative that's going to benefit financial industry industry-wide. And so within Project Guardian, we actually have major representation from almost all the large kind of bulge bracket banks and a lot of leading fintechs as well. And again, it's been a really, really good forum for us also to interface and talk with the MAS. After all, MAS is sponsoring Project Guardian. And it's actually also given us a big voice at the table for large events, including Singapore Fintech Festival. We've actually also published a white paper showing some of our views and perspectives on where we see blockchain technology evolving in the future. So yeah, I think Singapore has been extremely supportive, and there's many, many different organizations that I think that not only Alta, but I think across insurance and other sectors that there's a good opportunity to get involved in.
Right, Willie, you like to add or?
Oh, well, speaking of partnerships, LANDBANK had a lot of partners in government agencies. Recently, we've tied up with our Bureau of Transportation, wherein our LANDBANK cards can now be used in the MRT. Okay. Soon, it will be, we have different rails there. We have MRT3. Soon, we will join the other rails. So that's recently implemented. We also have partnerships with a lot of merchants, okay? Similar to what Willie said. That kind of model is also present in the Philippines. The interoperability wherein the payments are processed within the Philippine banks, so, and transfer of funds within the whole Philippines across different banks. So that's available as well in the country. So technology brings this seamless and easy access to a lot of people in terms of financial transactions, utility payments, everything. Okay, so really, today is a better day, right? We can transact internationally as well, with locally, online payments are there. So
yeah, I think partnerships are needed and definitely in BFSI sector because, and I think if there is a risk, like the insurance is mainly to cover the risk, right? And if those risks, if that is getting reduced by partnerships, and then the customer will also be happy and they will also feel more safer when there are some partnerships which are coming along and that are mainly to reduce the risk. Apart from that, let's say as a fintech, like funding societies, they also perform a lot of partnerships with, let's say, the banks, and definitely the key factor over here is because the SMEs needs, right? Because some of the bankings, they may not able to help you with financial products or financial needs that usually it will take more time. And this is where like fintechs like us will help them to achieve their financial goals with quick finance available for them. And I think with the technology, this is accelerating fast. We are now getting into AI, but again, quantum technology is coming in, which is again more disruptive. So whatever security mechanisms we have today, that may, that may not be, or that may be sort of invalid tomorrow. So on that particular front, MAS also sent some advisories and all, and I think many of the financial institutions, they already started looking at AI as well as quantum and so on. So what are the let's say initiatives those are taken in different BFSI industries? So are you taking any initiatives on that part? So anyone would like to add their points on this, like if you are taking any initiatives within your organization on quantum or any latest technologies?
I can start, right? So I think with respect to emerging technologies, I think we talked at a length. I feel AI and Gen AI, I think would have a deep impact in a longer run. With quantum, I think it would be useful where you need a real crunching power, right? And I think within insurance, we do, we're not really started yet, but we're thinking about the actuarial space where we probably would have a use case. That's what I think of, right? Because where you need a real good power to crunch through the data to have those actuarial models kind of implemented. So that's probably a good space for us to start.
Great. I think with the due respect of the time, I would like to, if anybody would like to summarize this particular session, I will be happy. And or before that, like I just wanted to check if any one of you has any question for us, any of the panelists or us, so that we can address those. Any questions from audience? Great. If not, then like we can summarize this particular session wherein we started with customer trust, transparency, and then we moved on to security. We talked about different security aspects as well as how the new technologies like AI and big data is helping BFSI sector, right? And then we again looked at the AI automation as well as the how we can also bring undercovered or underserved population into BFSI sector, as well as what are the partnerships those are happening within the BFSI sector, as well as some of the upcoming technologies. So I think if you would like to add or summarize this particular key pointers will be great for the audience here.
I think anything. Anything. All these technologies or the things that we talked about, we just need to look at from a customer lens, right? And you apply all of this through a customer lens. I think that would be the winning recipe.
Right, Steve, you would like to add anything on this?
No, that's exactly what I was going to say, actually. It's got to be, if you're going to bring all this stuff forward, yeah, it's got to make your business more efficient. It's got to make you more profitable. We all get that, and improvements in the bottom line. But at the end of the day, it needs to be better for the customers. And we've touched on inclusion. It needs to be better for all the customers, ideally. So moving forward, I think that's where the advantages of more technology are going to come, that you can actually touch more customers and make the journey better for everybody. That would be my aspiration anyway.
Yeah.
The only comment I would add, and we talked about it a little bit, but I always do worry, and it's in the back of my mind, kind of AI turning evil, and what could that actually mean for our company, and what can that mean for even us in our daily lives, right? And you see small snippets of news of AI kind of, taking advantage of people and misleading them, and, as soon as people who are involved with Alta, whether it's our customers, our employees, or whatever, are impacted, right? It could really cause huge problems, right? And so, yeah, again, I don't have the answer for that, but it is something that does worry me.
For me, any technology that we adopt, it should be geared towards serving the people. That's my message.
Yeah, I think to summarize this, I think customer needs is the first priority, and definitely it's our. I mean, BFSI sector. It looked at that like this is again our responsibility that we are providing that with the security features, because I think that is the need. Or even COVID taught us that even any virus or anything happens, we should not forget our basic hygienes, right? Similar to that, when any new technology comes in, we should not forget our basic cyber hygiene sort of practices, which we do use within our organization, right? Because, and definitely, as Willie said, like he's little bit afraid that AI may go evil. So definitely we need to restrict it based on whatever requirements what we have, and basis which only like we allow those technology to evolve within our organization. And I think with that, I would like to thank each and every panelist that they have provided a lot of good insights from their industry, be it from insurance, investment, as well as from banking sector. And I also tried to add some of the insights from fintech side as well. So I'm really thankful for all of them, and for audience as well for listening to our conversation. Yep. Yep. So thank you, everyone.